number 22 seed, comes through the division and is your 2025 Featherweight Champion. Split decision win.
Unbelievable performance from the Atos black belts.
We're here with 2025 Featherweight World Champion, João Mendes. João, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very happy to be here.
Of course, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about how you originally got started in Jiu-Jitsu and into that journey.
So I started training Jiu-Jitsu in 2009, because my dad was looking for a sport that I can do it. Because I remember in school, I was like that kid that play around a lot. So they tried to find something for me to spend my energy, you know. So they find Jiu-Jitsu. And then I started training on Gracie Barra. I started training Gracie Barra Curitiba with Pimpolho, my first professor Bucão. So since then, like, I started liking Jiu-Jitsu, and then also my dad, he saw opportunity for me to be a professional athlete. So they, you know, like, they motivated me a lot to keep going, training, start competing. I started competing since like, I don't know, 3 months of Jiu-Jitsu. I started competing with it. Yeah.
That's amazing. Can you talk a little bit about like some of those early competition experiences?
Yeah, so I remember the first one I lost, was a white belt already. And I remember that time on the tournament, they don't have pretty much they don't have weight division. They just come with a paper and ask your name and do the bracket right on the time. And then I fought with a kid that was a lot bigger than me. He smashed me. Yeah. But after that, I started spending my whole day at the gym. So since when I finished the school in the morning, I go straight to the gym, and then from noon to 9 p.m., I was in the gym the whole day. So I trained all the trainings that they have, and I remember I was the only kid at the tournament. So I just trained with the adults at the time. So I think that helped me a lot to improve my jiu-jitsu, because no way I'm going to be able to beat them with the strength, so it was just technique. And then after that, I saw my professor Bucão compete the first time. I remember I go to the tournament, I compete, I won, and then I saw my professor. And my professor was playing guard, like head on the floor, closed eyes, controlling the sleeves, and I was like, man, I want to play guard like this guy. And I think that motivated me to become a world champion. Because since then, I remember I was every day, no, teach me how to play guard, teach me how to play guard. And then I started improving. I won my first Brazilian national title as a kid. And then I'm going like until last week.
So you competed a lot at the kids ranks, is that right?
Yeah, Yeah, since 11 until then, like, I compete all the tournaments pretty much.
Amazing. So since you've been a black belt, you've been representing Atos. Can you tell me how the relationship with Atos and with André formed?
Yeah, it was 2016. Actually, it was 2015. I remember we left the Gracie Barra, and then my professor was looking to a team that he can join. And then I told him, no, try to join Atos, because I'm always a big fan of everyone, like Ari Farias and Bruno Frosato, Professor André. So then, and we have a friend that was very close to André, Dandan. So then he asked Dandan make the contact, and then like 2-3 months later, we already joined Atos. But the first time I got in San Diego was 2016. I was doing my training camp to Worlds. So I spent, I think, 3 weeks, and then the week of Worlds, and then I come back to Brazil. And then was after the Worlds when professor invited me to move and stay here the whole time.
That's amazing. So there's so many, like you said, amazing athletes competing out of Atos and getting amazing results at black belt. Who were some of those athletes that inspired you in the beginning?
It was Ari Farias and also Bruno Frasato too. Michael Lange, but then he was from Aliança. But all those three was the guy that I always looking for to try to copy the jiu-jitsu, you know.
So what was it first like when you got to Atos? How was the training different from what you were used to back home?
Yeah, it was very different. I remember the first time when I got here, I was very surprised how everybody was tough. Like, everybody was like very hard to train. Even like, I remember my first time was I was purple belt already. And my first time I was training, my first round was against a kid that was green belt. And it was a tough round. I was like, how this happening? I was like, was very surprised. But then like I started understanding a little bit more, like the training was very different. You know, like it was very hard, a lot of rounds. And at my gym, we don't have too much competitors in Brazil.
Yeah.
So it was different, you know, like when you train with someone that just do jiu-jitsu because they like, and when we train with competitors. Like I remember I went up like doing a competition every day during the 3 weeks, you know, like every day when I come to the gym I was nervous. I was feeling the same feeling as a tournament, you know. So yeah, I think that was a big part of my improvement, you know.
And then I think a big part of your color belt career was winning the Worlds as a purple belt, 2016. Can you talk about that experience, what it was like competing in the pyramid for the first time, and just going through that whole thing?
Yeah, actually I won Worlds as a juvenile 1, 2, 8 and open class. And at the time, they didn't divide the open class for the juveniles. So I remember it was medium weight and above. So I was like light, but I put my weight always on the midweight because I want to do the open class. And I won the juvenile 1 and 2. I almost did the Grand Slam. The first one I won Europeans, Brazilian National, and Worlds, 8 and open class. But I didn't complete PANS because I didn't have the visa yet. And the next year I did PANS, Brazilian National, and Worlds, 8 and open class too. So I almost did the Grand Slam as a juvenile. But then when I come up to adult, we still have we changing the gym. So I didn't compete the whole year. IBJJF, I didn't compete the Europeans, PANS, or Brazilian National. I come straight to Worlds. So I remember it was a different feeling, and I remember like professor asked me about which one is my special tournament. Like I feel like the purple belt one was the special one.
Yeah.
Because after I win, professor invited me to move to Atos, you know. So I think that tournament changed my life, yeah. That performance changed my life. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you won the Worlds at purple, then you spent a couple more years at Atos before getting your black belt. Can you talk about the story around your black belt promotion?
Yeah. So I compete I compete 2 times of Worlds as a brown belt. The first one I got silver, and the second one I got 3rd place. But both I have like a very good performance, but I end up losing by like strategy. You know, I was like when I was color belt, I was like trying to submit everyone, so I didn't have too much strategy. And then I remember after we finished the second Worlds, I was at my house, and then everybody trying to invite me to train. And I was, no, it's just afterwards, but let me rest. I don't want to go. And they forced me to come, and then, okay. And then when I got at the gym, professor used me as Zuke to show the technique. He showed like one technique and then the variation, and he called me to the third one. And then I just be in the 3rd position. I was in 3rd position. Then okay, guys, now it's time into Bisnaga receive his black belt. So I was not waiting for that, you know. The video was so funny because then I was, you start crying and everything. Yeah, wow. It was a very special moment for me.
That's amazing. So I know you had a lot of like really important moments throughout your black belt career prior to winning the World Championships. One of them that we talked about before we started recording was at the Crown. You had a really good performance. You beat Kennedy, who was winning everything last year. You beat Ademir Barreto, who got 2nd at the Worlds last year. Tell me about like the Crown and how that like kind of helped your confidence going forward.
Yeah, the Crown was a very special moment for me. It was the bigger opportunity of my life actually, because I remember when I received the invite and I was like so happy. I was like, this is a great opportunity of my life. And then, but since I received the opportunity, I started training a lot. I was training a lot already, but I just like increased the amount of training. I trained like the whole day. And so before that, like I fought against Kennedy, I think 5 times, you know.
5 times against Kennedy.
5 times, yeah.
Wow.
But he won all the 5, you know. So when I saw the bracket, first fight against, because I have this lucky, you know, like all the time my first fight was with the toughest guy of the division, you know, like all the time. My first Worlds was against Mateus Gabriel, and then he won. And then, like, you know, like, so always like this, always tough fights on the first one. And then, okay, this is my opportunity to, you know, overcome this challenge, you know. So I saw that, like, was a big opportunity already, but that gave me more motivation to go there and do my best. And I remember I bring my first professor. So he was there to watch me. My wife was there. Like, all my friends was there. And I knew I could win the tournament because I always fight against the best in the division, but was always with a close fight, you know. The featherweight division, I feel like a lot of guys like it. It's very close.
Absolutely.
One advantage, 2 points, a lot of heavyweight decisions. So Yeah, but I feel like that was the time that when I stepped the mat, I'm going to win. Like, okay, now I'm gonna win this tournament. And then I won against Kennedy, my second fight, because for me, who was the toughest opponent, Kennedy was the toughest opponent. And then I fought against Ademir. He was the world's finalist on that year, and then against Pato. So after that, I gained so much confidence, And also, I was talking with André. When I fought against Pato, was my first final of a big tournament, So I know I feel like the emotion was like very, I couldn't control the emotion too much during the fight. I remember I was winning by advantage, but I still like trying to fight like crazy. And then Pato ended up winning the fight. But I remember when I was waiting to do the finals against Mayhem, I was like, okay, it's not my first time. I already passed through this, so now I know how to control my emotions by a little bit better.
So there were a few other moments we talked about before we started recording that were like turning points or that you felt like gave you a lot of confidence as a black belt. Can you talk about some of those too?
Yeah. So the first one was when I fought against, actually like 2023 was the year that I started feeling that every tournament that I did better.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel my improvements like every time when I step on the mat. So that year I remember the first time when I competed, I won against Gabriel Souza. That was a tough opponent. I won against Pablo Lavazelli. And then I fought against Marcio André at Pence. So that was a great fight, and I feel that fight showed me that you're on the level. You can win this division. You just need to keep working, and you're gonna get you're gonna receive your good medal for sure. So I think like one of the special fights for me was against Marcio André. Yeah. One, because he's one of my idols when I was a kid, and I think on that tournament that was his toughest fight. I was winning for 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and then I got a penalty right in the end, and he like overcome the fight for 4-2, and he won, and he ended up winning the tournament.
Yeah,
with a very good performance. Yeah.
Great. So let's talk about the Worlds. Obviously, you won the featherweight division. Incredible accomplishment. That division's always so stacked. What was the preparation like leading into the World Championships?
Yeah, so since 2023, I didn't stop training. I kept training. I go to the tournament. Sometimes I won, sometimes I lost. But I always feel that I was improving. So I didn't stop training. If you ask me what I changed since then, I didn't change anything. I just keep doing the same thing, because I feel it's work on top of work, I was talk with Andy a little bit. I think it was end of 2022, and I asked him, what do you think I need to do to become a champion? And he told me, bro, you just need to keep training. If you stop every time that you lose, you're gonna end up like going back,
Yeah, regressing.
So you gotta keep moving forward. So you gotta keep training. It doesn't matter the results, you gotta keep training. So that helped me a lot. And he told me about like in 3 years you're gonna be able to become a champion. In 3 years, he told me. It took me like 2 years and a half. That was funny.
That's incredible. So at the Worlds, you beat Thiago Macedo, Marco Mendes, Diego Sodre, and Mayra Malvez, which is an insane lineup of athletes. They're all so accomplished, so incredible. Tell me how Saturday went leading into Sunday and the final day of black belt.
Yeah, I remember the Saturday I was very nervous, actually, because one thing that I want to do is qualify into the Sunday, like I never did that. So I was like, no, this year I need to do that. And I was feeling very good. So I feel a little bit like the pressure of this,
Yeah.
And then my first fight was against Thiago Macedo, that he already beat me, like, I don't know, 4 years ago or something like that. So it was a good rematch. Ended up controlling the fight the whole time, winning by advantage. And then the second fight against Marco, he's a tough guy. He was brown belt world champion. He already got podium at Pens, I think. So he was a tough fight, very strong. But I was able to control the whole match still. Like I started sweeping him it was a double pull, and then I ended up like almost passing, taking the back, opening like 5 advantage right in the beginning. And then I won the fight for 4-2 and 6 advantage for me. So it was a good performance on Saturday. And after that, I was very happy because I was like, okay, like I already conquered the first step, you know. I was enjoying the moment with my wife, and then we come back home. I was resting, and I remember when I wake up on Sunday, I was feeling no pressure, you know, no pressure. I was like very happy, and it was a different feeling, you know. It's pretty much the same as the crown. I was just happy to be there fighting, you know. And then when I got on the tournament, since when I got there, when I started like warming up, I started feeling different. You know, like I was telling like the Caraguá was with me, Vinicius, and I was telling him, no, today I feel like very different, bro. I think the performance will be very good. Yeah. And then like I fought against Raimundo Soldier, Diego, right? And he won against me on 2023 at Worlds by referee decision, and also my first fight against him was on Brazilian National this year. Yeah. He won by referee decision too. So it was 2 very close fights, and I was okay. Like now is the second day. I already like because I could wait like my weight cut to featherweight. It's very hard, you know. So my first day, it's always like this. Like I don't have the same energy as like the second day, you know. So I feel like a lot better on the second day. And then when I started winning right in the beginning, like I won the double pull, come up 2-0, was like okay, and then he swept me. And then when I was playing guard, you know, like I feel that day everything was working, like everything that was trying was working, you know, because that foot lock I never did on the gym. I was just saw the opportunity. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make that advantage here. I was just start attacking, and then since when I locked the foot lock, I feel the foot was popped. So I was like, okay, so let's keep going until he tap. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge win for you. Like you said, you had lost to Diego twice before, and we talked a little bit before we started recording too about the commentary because Kyle Terra was doing it, and you used his foot lock, so he got really excited. Yeah, so did you get a chance to see that?
Well, it was funny that he said, "I never did this on the words in the gi, but he did it. He did it." It was funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that qualified you for the final, going in against the 2024 champion Mayram Alves. Mayram is an awesome competitor. He's so fun to watch. There was a lot of hype around him coming into the Worlds. What were you thinking in terms of like your game plan going into the match with Mayram?
Yeah, like on the beginning I have a game plan, but then professor was changing everything before the match starts. You know, I was warming up, and the professor asked me, "Oh, what's your game plan?" Then I told him, and then he, okay, let's do like this, and then he changed everything, you know. So I just followed like professor's plan, but pretty much the plan was I knew like Mayhan are very explosive on the beginning and very dangerous, so I knew that I need to control him on the beginning. So I just matched the same energy that he put on the beginning, but I think what make a huge difference was because I start winning the round. I start winning the fight. Since when I pull guard, if I have my grips, I feel that he trying to like explode, and I control him, and then I almost sweep him around the beginning. And then when he defending the sweep, he defend and pull guard. And then okay, now it's a great opportunity for me to make him tired a little bit from this position, because I'm playing very well on top, like put my weight, and I was like making him tired, and always like in a good positioning. So I feel like I was ahead of the match the whole time. I think with 5 minutes left, I almost passed his guard with a throw by. He defending, and then he ended up like standing up. He almost swept me, but like he off balanced me, and he stand up, and I stand up with him. And then I was 3 minutes left at that point, and then I just pull guard again. And then when I pull guard, I make my grips. I remember was almost outside the match, and then the referee like bring us to the middle. And I was looking at the time, I looked to professor, okay, now just control, like, you know. I was like, a very funny moment was Luisa too, because I hear her a lot. She was screaming, "You playing guard the whole day at the gym, nobody's gonna pass, nobody's gonna pass." And then okay, that gave me so much confidence. And then I was playing guard until the end. On the last 40 seconds, he got a throw by. He make the match even, right, 1-1. But since when I finished the fight, I feel that I won. Okay, I won. Like I was like 100% sure.
So going into the ref's decision, you felt confident you were going to get the win?
Yeah. I feel like I feel that I controlled the whole match, and after that I watched the match like 3 or 4 times. I was like, I'm pretty sure I won the fight. Like no other call on that one.
So that was your 4th Worlds as a black belt, and it was your first time getting on the podium, and it was a gold medal.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's been some more like instances of similar stories for athletes, like Adam Wardzinski. I think it was like his 6th or 7th Worlds, never even made the podium, and then he won gold. So I'm sure that makes it feel much sweeter for you, knowing that all the hard work that you did finally paid off in the form of a gold medal. So can you talk about like how it felt and maybe how the adversity played into the emotions as well?
Yeah. No, it was a very special moment for me. It was like the day I conquered my dream, you know, like make my dream come true. But I think the way I did until I won this title was that make it so special, you know. Because during this, I took like 7 years as a black belt, right? 7 years as a black belt to win my first world title. But also, I didn't compete, I think 2 worlds. One because I hurt my knee right in the week of worlds, and the other one because I have like a family loss with my wife. So I have a lot of ups and downs in my life, you know, until I got on that point. So, yeah, when I won was like a overcoming thing for me, you know, like overcoming a lot of hard moments in our lives. Yeah, so that I think make so special for me. And also, like, I have a lot of big examples at the gym. Like Lucas Pinheiro was one of the guys that took like longer to conquer the dream. So Isaac Dordoline too. Like I say, Adam Wardzinski. Even Hulk, Lucas Barbosa, he took like a few years to won. So all this example give me a lot of motivation to keep going, keep chasing my dream. I want to be one of this example for the other guys, you know.
Yeah. So we talked about a little bit how featherweight is such a crazy division. The last 9 years we've had different world champions. So 2016, Rafa Mendes, 2017, Cobrinha, 2018, Jamil, 2019, Mateus Gabriel, 21, Fabricio Andre, 22, Isaac, 23, Sam Nagai. Last year Mayram, this year you. So that's pretty wild. There's a lot of divisions that have repeat champions or like similar champions, but featherweight just feels like it's wide open every year. That's how tough the division is.
Yeah.
So can you talk just a little bit about how some of the battles at featherweight leading up to the Worlds like helped prepare you for this moment, and just your overall comments on the division?
Yeah, I think this division it's one of the most the hardest one. I think for me it's the hardest one. We have like 12 guys that have a chance to win every time when we step on the mat. So, and I feel one of the reasons it's because before us we have Cobrinha and also Rafael.
Yep.
The level are so like high. So when we growing up like blue belt, purple belt, we knew that to get on that level we need to train a lot. So I think everybody thinks it's the same, and I think that's why the division right now is so like have so much like big talents and stronger guys. So, and I feel on the division like 12 guys have a chance to win. So every time when I fought with one of those, I feel that you can, you know, seed your level, you know, like against the Soldier Brothers or against Kennedy or against like anyone, like the same, but like, if it's all close fights, you know, like all like by the advantage, 2 points, referee decision sometimes. You know, and another thing that I think nobody after Cobrinha won the Grand Slam, nobody won 2 major titles in the same year. I think the only
Kennedy,
one, the only
Kennedy,
one was Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Then he won almost all the titles. So I think we have so much good guys in the division.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I know it's only been a week since you won your world title, but looking ahead, what do you have planned for the rest of your career at black belt?
I want to keep competing. My plan now, I think, is the crown. I'm waiting for this moment again, and let's see. I'm going like little by little right now, like step by step. Yeah, I don't want to look too much ahead. I just enjoy the moment right now. Yeah,
that's awesome. You definitely deserve to enjoy it. You had such a great run at Worlds. It was an honor to watch you compete and to win the gold medal. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for the interview, man. Thank you.
For sure.